I have aimed this video series at newer players of Star Citizen. I do research on each individual ship, learning more about them myself and in turn share this newfound information with you. Your feedback, ideas and what ship category for the next installment would be greatly appreciated. Now, sit back, relax and enjoy. And thank you for being part of Hassle-Free Gaming. Which dropship is best for you? Does a dropship work in space? What is Star Citizen's version of a dropship? All this and much more coming right up, right now. Whilst any ship for room for multiple people can be used as a dropship, we'll be focusing on the ships that are specifically made to be a dropship. Just before I grab our guns and jump into battle, we had a lot of fun setting up today's first installment of all Star Citizen ships, and if you liked it too, drop a click on the thumbs up and smash the sub so you don't miss the next part in Hassle-Free Gaming's playlist. So right now we're answering what is a dropship within the Star Citizen universe. It's a ship designed safely and strategically to carry troops to an objective, and ideally help the troops with extras like additional weapons for the troops, suppressive fire from the dropship weaponry, ground vehicles, multiple exits from the drop is hot, or dropped off in a way the enemy won't see them coming. These additions are critical for the troops' first moments after arriving and can help turn engagement, especially with vehicle deployment and stealthy troop deployments. You'll note, as we take a look around each ship, it has its own way of delivering troops, so simply picking one ship for all situations and doing so may leave you with an earful from your now very angry and dead passengers. Quick disclosure, when talking about ship mounts like man turrets, their sizes are not to be confused with the size of holdable guns like SMGs and pistols, which have the same sizing. For example, a size 1 holdable gun is a pistol, but a size 1 vehicular gun can be the Door Gatling gun here in the Valkyrie. Starting with the current largest dropship and the two variants, which are different in colour only. To fully operate the Valkyrie, she has a crew requirement of 5 minimum and up to 7 max. The two extra crew include two size 1 Gatling door gunners. Speaking of guns, the Valkyries are loaded with turrets, but no missiles. The pilot has two size 2 turreted Gatling guns. There's two man turrets, each with two size 3 Gatlings, one on top and one underneath. Also, two size 3 remotely operated Gatlings, one on either side, controlled independently by these internal gunner seats, which has a lot of suppressive firepower pointing in all different directions. The Valkyrie can drop a staggering amount of troops. She has 2 bays of 10 secure seats, and I'm guessing these are 1 primary weapon holder per seat. Do you know if they are? Help us out in the comments below. But that's not all. She can hold 30 units of cargo, or 1 Earth rover, or with a bit of skill, 4 tightly parked Tumbril Cyclones. Having vehicles can be a massive advantage. Without going into this too much, the Ursa Rover at the moment is great in mowing down infantry. Having a mix of Tumbril Cyclones, which may be your style, giving anti-air, anti-infantry and anti-light vehicle support. The Valkyrie has 7 turrets, this includes the pilots, dotted all around the ship. When manned, they can provide great suppression and discourage fighters, infantry and light vehicles coming in close, effectively covering the troops upon reaching her objective. This is something the Valkyrie has over the other 2 ships, and so is bringing land vehicles. But this doesn't mean it's the best. The Valkyrie has a large EM signal, and is easy to hit. Also, she has a low amount of fuel, and drinks fuel like the Aussies drink beer. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? It's kind of both. The Tavaran Prowler is a human version of the Tavaran's dropship. She has a max crew of 2. You could just have the pilot, as the deployment method is very different from the others. Stay tuned as we'll be looking into the new features that sets her apart, like the pilot or co-pilot are able to operate the flight or remote turret controls without swapping seats. The Prowler comes with a remotely operated turret that sits on top and has 2 size 3 guns, and under the legs are 2 size 4 gimbaled guns. This means the stock Prowler brings almost as much firepower as all the turrets on the stock Valkyrie. However, all the guns on the Prowler can be operated by the pilot and converge together. For her troop carrying ability, she can hold 16 troops and 16 primary weapon holders. Her ship components are on a second deck where the second pilot seat is located, accessible by the ladder only. The Prowler is designed to be the sneaky one, with its design focused on being stealthy by the following: small size, low EM signals with one less power plant than the other two. Having 8 large hover pads along the hull, the Prowler can now fly close to planet surfaces, much easier than the other two. Also, the hover pads may be able to allow the Prowler to stay much closer to bigger ships in flight. This will bring exciting gameplay, as the Prowler should be able to board capital ships much more easily than the other two.
I mean, come faster.
You should have stayed right by it, man.
Oh my god. Oh.
Alright. Do you want to jump in?
The Vanguard Hoplite has a crew requirement of 1 and a max of 2. She has a manned turret on top with 2 size 2 guns. The pilot has a gimbaled size 4 gun and 4 size 2 guns that are exclusive to the Vanguard series. And unlike the Prowler, the Hoplite comes with 8 size 2 missiles. All components are size 2, and apart from the quantum drive, life support and radar, the Hoplite has 2 of each. All but the quantum drive is located just behind the pilot's chair in the same room. The Hoplite's troop carrying capabilities are as follows: 6 seats, with 4 of the seats having a heavy weapon rack each. In addition, there is a weapon rack with 10 more primary weapon slots, with cubby holes above and below providing space maybe for grenades, pistols, additional ammo, food and water. This, like the Valkyrie's weapon holder, is in my speculation, so if you know the future plans for these places, let us know in the comments below, and I'll look to add your feedback in the video description. Thank you, and moving on. The Vanguard is less of a mass troop deployment with having 6 total troop seats, but is the only ship out of the 3 that gives the troops a true choice in primary and heavy weapons, and is the only ship to have the 4 heavy personnel weapon slots. This is important. In the future, we may not be able to hold the primary weapons as we sit. And why would we want to sit? In the future, if we're standing up in the ship and the ship takes a hit, or let's say we're in an atmosphere and the pilot rolls the ship or banks really hard, the standing passengers will react by stumbling, falling over, being knocked out, and possibly taking damage. And whilst you may still pass out if seated, you won't wake up in a dog pile of other troops now all trying to find their particular P4 AR rifle. Additional information: all these ships have doors behind the pilot, protecting them from the likes of shipjackers and having the ships vented out. The Prowler has one behind the pilot and the co-pilot. Also, the gimbaled size 4 gun on Vanguard and the 2 gimbaled size 4 guns on the Prowler can be swapped out for size 5 fixed, which are big guns. Also, the Prowler has shield linings on all but one of the openings, and that's where the ladder drops down. Knowing this is really important for the next part. Carrying a group of players in a Valkyrie or Hoplite, the pilot must note that communication is really important. You don't want one of your crew opening the door, feeling like they're at the objective, and then end up venting all the air out, leaving the gunner operators in the Valkyrie scrambling for the helmet. Another concern is they are all susceptible to EMPs, but the Prowler isn't. Yeah, nah, joking. The Prowler won't just lose power like the other ships, but also its eyes, as the triangular screens in the cockpit will need the power plant to reboot, leaving the pilot blind, until he changes to third person of course. How I see the ships being used: I see the Valkyrie along with a large fleet of ships like escorters and gunships being used by a player org to take another player org's planet side mining base. I feel in most situations the Valkyrie would then fall back to a safe distance to refuel. As a bonus, with the Valkyrie having Spartan living conditions, the pilot could hire an AI gunner crew, allowing more players to be in the ground fight. I see the Hoplite strategically dropping a small group of heavily armed troops, landing troops in an overwatch position. Also, the Hoplite is the only dropship with heavily personnel weapon rack, 4 in total. The Hoplite can hold its own against similar sized ships, so she can be used to help resupply troops with guns and ammo on the front lines. In the future, I see an Idris voyaging through the thick space clouds, arriving at the Pyro wormhole gate, where an unseen threat swoops through the mist, latching onto the Idris with an inescapable magnetic clutch. The crew on board are now close enough to cut open the airlock from the inside of the one-way shield doors, or EVA over using the push-pull mechanics, latching onto the Idris's airlock and breaking through. If you want to see the next installment of All Star Citizen ships, sub up. If you enjoyed, easily click the thumbs up. Thank you for watching. And also stay tuned for the next Hunter vs Hunted, coming soon.
Open these off.
Trying to.
Where? There you go.
Oh, thank you.
Tell me when you're in.
Almost. I'm coming
And
inside.
tell me when you're through the first door as well.
Yeah, please wait. Let's not jump the gun again. F4 to get up. No, I'm still EVAing. Oh my god, what's going on? I'm in a constant EVA glitch. Drive backwards.
Does
Oh
that
no!
help?
Oh my god. I've died. Come, go back and shoot the shield. So try and shoot me. Right. Oh,
Just saying I'm hitting. How do you block?
God, no.
Oh yeah. Yes! Where have you gone? Did you glitch out the ship? You disappeared. Where did you go?
I'm in the ship.
What? Your legs are hold. They're poking out the bottom of the ship.